Have you ever seen one of these? This was completely new to me. This is a jar opener. You put a jar or pressure sealed container in there, you push open, and this should rotate and unscrew the lid. This is a great idea. Obviously this one's not working. The idea is that if you have a disability with your hands, or if you don't have enough strength to open a jar, this machine will do it for you. This one's not working. So we're going to see today on ItsFixable if I can figure out what's wrong with this and get it working. The first thing I like to do with any electrical appliance that's not working is to see if I got power making it to the device. In order to do that, I've got to open this up. I know it's kind of hard to see being all black, that this doesn't show on the camera really well, but this looks like a cap here that is enclosing that top unit where the wire goes in. On this side, the underside of the cap, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Regular screwdriver, just a Phillips screw is in there, doesn't fit because of the angle. So I've got to do a little trickery here. This is a little flexible shaft. I can put a screwdriver bit in. I can use an electric screwdriver to drive that. There we go. I just had a spring fall out from in here. All right, what do we got? I got screws falling all over the place. The power cord is snaked around these posts here, so there's no tension pulling on its entering the motor unit. The motor's encased in a clear plastic box, and the wire goes in the bottom of that. I have to remove this clear plastic case to get to the motor and the electrical connection, which is underneath there. And it appears to be held with at least 2 screws, which this isn't going to show on the camera, but there's 2 screws underneath here, plus this grip mechanism. We're going to take that grip off of there. Okay. There's the motor, gears, and on-off switch unit all in one. So there's 4 screws holding this clear plastic encasing system. Hopefully these gears aren't going to all fall apart here. Little circuit board. That's what I need to access to test for power. And the switch. All right. I'm going to use my voltmeter and continuity tester to determine if this power cord is good. Yeah, I've got continuity on that leg of the power cord. And yes, I have continuity on that leg of the power cord. All right, now I can see if it continues through the switch. That side of the switch I have a reading. This side of the switch I do not have a reading. I think I have a bad switch. To verify that the switch is the problem, I am going to put a jumper wire between the incoming lead to the switch and where that would feed directly to the circuit board, which is this white lead right there. Now I don't want that to touch anything. All right, here we go. Yes, the motor runs. So the entire problem is this switch. All right, I'm opening this switch to see what's going on inside the switch. Okay, yeah. So that's the contact surface that transfers the power between these little contacts on the board. And you can see this is really muddied up. That's all dirty. That's not making good contact at all. Here's where the main power comes in, that central contact. This one, yeah, the top one is not used. The switch has to make contact between the center and there when it's pressed down. And you can see that's all dirty. That's not getting good contact at all. And so I'm thinking maybe I can just clean all that and then put this switch back together and then solder it back in place. What I'm going to do is see if I can clean that switch contacts up and then reassemble the switch. Let's scrape it with a knife a little bit. Get that crud out of there. All right, that looks pretty good. Now, this little contact here, this is pretty ugly looking. That looks a lot better. Okay, see, that crud was on there. Let's see if I can reassemble this then, and if that'll make better contact, we should be in good shape. This has got to go this way. All right. Let me test that with my meter. Let's see if I hold that on there. Slide the switch and I get continuity. Yeah, all right. I'm soldering the wire back onto the switch. Now before I start assembling everything, I'm going to test it once again. Yes, that's good. All right, now I just have to put all this back together somehow. All right, that assembly was a little bit challenging because my hands got all sticky with grease. I didn't have the camera going because I didn't want to get grease on my cameras. But it's just a matter of lining everything up and getting it back into this case. And now, before putting this back into the base unit here, I'm going to test it once again. That works just fine. Okay, so I'm going to assemble this into the rest of the frame here. All right, and which side does that go out? That comes out the back side here. So this has to go under this way. This all has to align. There we go. I'm going to use some tape to hold that while I turn it over to get the screws on. All right. The lid is back in place. All I have to do is reattach the gripper jaw. You know, it would be helpful if I could stand this up on end somehow. Tell you what, here. I'll use my bean bag and another rag. There we go. Okay. And it fits over this post. Here we go. Use a stubby screwdriver in there. All right. Well, you think it's going to work? Okay. Got to see if this thing works now. That's plugged in. I hear it. Where's my jar? Okay, this is just a regular canning jar with a threaded lid that I can open it, but we're just going to see if this works first of all with this type of threaded lid. That goes in the clamp arrangement. This lowers over the jar. I push down on unscrew. And yeah, it looks like it's unthreading. Oh, I'm gonna lift that up. Yeah, great. So that's a pretty easy jar to do. Let's try one of these pressure sealed containers. Sometimes you know how you get one that is just, you know, really, really tough. Okay. So I gotta push that to lower it. All right, here we go. Ooh, I heard it pop. It popped open. Yeah! Look at that. It works.